I don't like to cook. We hear it all the time. When people come into the gym, they're trying to get fit, they're trying to get healthy, trying to lose some weight. This is one of the biggest issues that we see. We need to get nutrition right in order to hit those goals. And it's hard, especially if you don't like cooking. Hitting those goals are going to be more difficult. But you don't have to love cooking to understand the results that cooking will get you, right? When we eat out, when we eat processed foods, when we eat foods that are high in added sugar, like all of those things are very calorically dense. They're very hyper palatable, so you just keep eating them. They're not very filling. There's giant portions, and it's just going to be easier to eat more. And in order to lose weight, to be healthy, to be fit, we need to eat less. So eating out sets you up to fail. That's not to say don't ever eat out, but if that's the primary way you're doing it, if you're primarily eating out, or if you're primarily eating processed foods, not cooking your own food, it's going to be very challenging to do that. So what cooking allows us to do is it allows us to control what we're putting into our body. We actually know what's going into it. We know how much. And that makes things a lot easier when our goal is to lose some fat, to grow some muscle, to feel better. It lets us leverage what we know what we're doing. We know what we are eating, right? We get to leverage that. I think when people hear cooking, they think chef, they think restaurant, they think I need this fancy recipe, that I need like 80 bowls and fancy stuff. But that is not what we mean by cooking, right? So let's redefine. Let's talk about what cooking can mean. Instead of thinking gourmet, instead of chef, think assembling. We need to assemble a meal. So we can have a crock pot, throw some chicken, some frozen veggies, and some rice. Let it cook for a couple hours, and bam, you got a meal. It took you 10 minutes, 5 minutes to put that meal together. It doesn't have to be fancy. A rotisserie chicken and a bag salad. Again, not super complicated, not a lot of time. Somebody cooked the chicken, salad's put together for you. Some scrambled eggs, toast, and some fruit. Right? Very, very simple. It doesn't take a lot of time. For us, we keep it very basic in the Bryan household. Protein, starch, non-starchy vegetable, right? So I'll cook, like 3 pounds, 3 to 6 pounds of chicken at a time. I'll just grill all of that at once. And we'll have chicken for the week or for a couple days, and then we'll have a steam bag, or we'll have some zucchini out of the garden, and we'll have, I'll make 2 cups of rice at the same time that I make the chicken. Bam, we got our meal there. We keep it super basic. It's not this crazy recipe. It's a protein, a starch, and a vegetable. Very straightforward. We don't have to make it fancy. We don't need these crazy recipes. It can be very, very simple. So, here are some things that we can think about, and kind of taken from some of the stuff that we do at our house. The one is we can batch our protein. That's one of the ones that kind of takes the longest time. Right? You can throw something in a crock pot, cook a pork shoulder, or um, some chicken or a big steak, and slice it up. Like, cook a whole bunch of protein at one time and then use it throughout the week. Frozen veggies are also a great option. You can pre-wash greens. Like, there's a lot of different things that you can do with that. The big thing is finding the vegetable that you like, right? You need to try a bunch, try them again, and find what works for you. What do you like? And I also like to batch cook vegetables as well. Just throw a whole bunch of vegetables on a tray, a little bit of olive oil, a little salt and pepper. You got vegetables all week, right? Microwaving rice and potatoes, right? If you don't want to cook rice in a pot, You don't have a rice maker, they make microwavable rice bags. They have potato bags, like super easy. Throw it in there, you're good to go. So now we got some protein in the fridge. We got some rice and potatoes in the fridge. We grab a steam bag, right, a microwavable. Now we just put it all together and you're good to go. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be gourmet. It doesn't have to be complicated. There are tons of ready to go options. There's stuff that you can get pre cooked. There's a lot of options out there. Even just cooking your food can be so easy when you don't overcomplicate it, right? Salt, pepper, and then one other spice, right? Salt, pepper, thyme, right? Salt, pepper, sage, salt, pepper, cumin, right? Just pick one other spice and add it on there and just try a couple and there you go. Keep it easy, keep it short, keep it sweet. It doesn't need to be complicated. Find the foods that you like to eat. You do stuff that you hate all the time, or maybe not hate, but you do stuff you don't like all the time. There's something in your job that you don't love doing and you still do it. Brushing your teeth isn't super fun, you still do it. You wash your clothes. Like there's tons of things that you do that you don't love doing. You want a result right now: fat loss, muscle gain, improved health. You want that result. So, doing something that you don't necessarily love doing, but helped you get to that thing, is probably worth doing. Spending a little bit of extra time prepping, learning to cook very minimally, very basic, is going to help you reach those goals, right? Instead of just having clothes that are clean, now you have that goal that you were able to reach. You don't have to enjoy the process, you just want to enjoy the results. And it doesn't have to take a long time. 10 to 20 minutes on a Sunday, when you spend some time prepping, that can save hundreds of calories over the week. And it can also save you money in the long term as well. When you buy processed foods, they're generally more expensive. Right? So, if you don't like cooking, pick something that kind of clicked with you. Oh, maybe I can try batching, grilling a bunch of chicken. I can try, oh, you know what? I have that crock pot, and just being able to throw everything together and just forget about it. That sounds like a really good idea, right? Try batch protein. Try a crock pot recipe. Buy some bags of rice, right? Think about, hey, how can I use the plate method? We've talked about this in the past before. Lean protein, starch, non vegetable, non starchy, right? Try and think about how we can start assembling our meals. What are the basics that we need in order to build a meal? What One of the things that I really hope this is kind of sparking some ideas, and everybody has different meals that work for them. One of our personal meals that just are like, oh crap, we didn't make anything, we forgot, is in the freezer. We have a bag of frozen shrimp. We have frozen vegetables. Those two are always in the fridge. And then we always have a steam bag in the pantry. So if we forgot to cook, or things got out of hand, we can just cook that, and it takes about 15 minutes. So if you have like your go-to meal, what's your go-to meal? It can be that fast, quick one, like I just said, or is it, hey, what's the meal that you make every week, or what's that crock pot meal that you always make? Um, Share that with us. Like the more we share with each other, the more we can feel more comfortable about cooking and start realizing that it doesn't have to be super fancy. So you don't have to like cooking, but in order to get results, we still need to start working on that skill, start improving that skill a little bit. Simple habits, basic habits will lead to big results. Thank you guys. If you think this might help somebody, please share it. Please like it. We want more happy, healthy people in the world. Cheers.